Hey everyone, so I'm going to be doing this thing where I talk to you every week. Now, I already talk to you every week, but I kind of talk to you by interviewing someone else, and a lot of times we finish the episode and I have so many feelings and so many thoughts, and I think that all of you do too. So I figured maybe we would try this thing where I make a video on my iPhone and put it up, and it gives us a way to talk a little bit more about some stuff that happened in last week's episode. The last episode that happened was about comics and sexuality and gender, and one of the most important parts of that episode for me was talking to Phil about the X-Men specifically, and thinking about how comics and fantasy in general allows us to talk about things that we might not otherwise be allowed to talk about on the platforms that we're given. The X-Men and a lot of other characters became symbols for things that we were going through as young people, and for many of us that meant being queer or being other in some way. And I want to talk just for a second about another character that really means a lot to me, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer I watched a little bit when I was younger, but I actually really came to know the series as an adult, and watching it as an adult, I realized how many themes were in that I tied directly to my own experiences, and not just my sexuality, because that's a very direct parallel, I think, that's able to be laid down with Buffy, but also being a feminist and so many other things. I know that so many of you have characters that mean so much to you, whether they're directly queer, directly trans, or whether they just have existed in spaces of otherness. So let me know who those characters are. I would love to talk to you about them. Also, I want you to know that the whole time I've been talking, I've realized that Batman was just hanging out. So I have this has nothing to do, I had this before the episode, but here's a tiny Batman, so you're welcome. Let me know the superheroes, the characters in comics, the characters in fantasy that have really appealed to you and have helped you maybe better understand yourself. Cool?